Hi and welcome to this webinar series, Microsoft 365 SMB Acceleration Program. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us in this webinar. The first webinar will focus on the teamwork possibilities Microsoft partners have. And as you can see from the layout and setup of this webinar, there are some changes compared to previous webinars. Microsoft now provides captions in your language, here to my right, because we want to make sure that everyone will understand and be able to listen in even if you have hearing disabilities. My name is Oscar and I'm your host for this webinar. I will be right down here in the lower right corner throughout the whole webinar. And the other me, as you can see up here to my right, will be my wingman or weatherman if you like. And he's there to identify and also highlight important details or slide sections. And right about my head, you can see different chapters highlighted as we move forward. And this makes it easier for you to rewind or move fast forward if you are running out of time. Well, that being said, we highly recommend and hope that you can set aside time to watch each of these webinars in full length. So this is a picture of my LinkedIn profile. I love LinkedIn and I hope you will look me up and connect later on. I think you will find my network interesting and maybe helpful. I know that actually you can multitask while you're watching this webinar, so please go ahead and search for Oscar Havland, and thank you in advance. Our company is KOGGER, or quiver in English. If you haven't heard of a quiver before, it's a type of bag usually carried on the back where you keep your arrows for using with a bow. Just imagine Robin Hood and you will know what I mean. So short about KOGGER. We have been working with Microsoft and their partners since 2015, helping them with marketing, sales, and their conversion process when going from solution sales to cloud business and focusing on recurring revenue. If you would like to learn more about our concepts and workshops for Microsoft partners in Europe, so feel free to go to our website and get in touch with us. We would like to get your comments or answer any questions you have after watching this webinar series. These are the main elements of the Microsoft 365 SMB Acceleration Program. Step 1, it's about teamwork. Step 2 is about security. Step 3 is about offer development. And step 4 is go-to-market and resources. In this first webinar in this series, we will go through Microsoft 365 from the angle of teamwork and then talk about some basic product information. In the next and second webinar, we will introduce security assessments and show you how these can be used as a tool to analyze the needs of your customers, identify and offer the correct level of security when selling Microsoft 365. In the third webinar, we will talk about managed services and offer development based on Microsoft 365, focusing on teamwork and security, and show you an example of what solutions look like and can look like. Finally, in the fourth and the last webinar in this series, we'll talk about go-to-market and key resources. So everyone, let's get started. The objective of this course is to increase your knowledge on Microsoft 365 for SMB and to help you get started with security assessments. The potential for security in SMB is huge, and we will walk you through how you can manage the main challenges that we have seen when it comes to selling security to SMB customers. It's important to notice that we see a rise in packaged offerings and managed services in the market. Do you know what the key driver is? It's the profitability opportunity it provides partners with, since holistic solutions corresponds better to the needs of SMBs. So the intention of this course is to kickstart this journey for you as a partner. It can be a big strategic shift, and we are going to show you the benefits, what the best approach is, the tools you can use, concept you can consider, and examples that can help you get started. Do you feel that packaging is complex and difficult? That doesn't have to be the case. We clearly see that leading partners in Western Europe not only offer their customers packaged solutions, they also have good digital presence. The result? Their customers can easily contact them directly and buy. So in webinar 3 and 4, we will cover how to package Microsoft products and services, and we will also cover go-to-market and the resources you can use when packaging products and services. In conjunction with this sales course, we are launching a technical course that you can also find here on Cloud Champion. The idea is that these online courses kickstart your journey to earning the Microsoft 365 Fundamentals certification, which in turn assures that you have the right skill set to sell Microsoft 365. Now that we have introduced the course and the objectives, we will move on to the main topic of this webinar, which is teamwork. So we will start by going over what has happened in the market, both from a customer and partner perspective. We will then move on to talk about Office 365 and Microsoft 365 solutions that you can offer to customers, what each solution includes, and which solution is the right one to sell. We will talk about the value of cloud collaborations and key scenarios that apply to everyday work of a SMB customer. We will also discuss the end of support for Windows 7 and Office 2010 and what this means for you as a partner and for your customers. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Today we are working more together than ever before. Working in teams has a lot of benefits, but also some challenges, especially for SMB customers, since their IT solutions in most cases haven't kept up with this development. The workforce is more mobile than ever, we are traveling, and more companies are giving their employees the flexibility to work remote or having flexible work hours. In 2025, millennials will account for 75% of the workers. Millennials are the generation of ones born in the beginning of the 1980s to the mid-1990s, and they are comfortable using technology and social media. They also have a higher expectations to the digital tools they use for work. So this is important for us because this applies to both you and I and our customers. So what does collaboration look like today at your customers? As you can imagine, small businesses usually don't have a dedicated IT staff, and therefore they most often don't have an IT strategy. They figure it out as they go along, and that can lead to the situation illustrated on this slide. A typical scenario that SMBs are facing is when multiple people are, for example, working together on a presentation or an Excel file and end up sending it back and forth via email, since they don't have the tools to share and co-edit. Employees emailing back and forth is the best case scenario in this situation. In many cases, the employees will instead use their personal tools, such as their personal OneDrive, Google Drive, or Dropbox to collaborate. Why? Because they know how these tools work, and they are using them in their private life. So why not make work easier and just use them there as well? Sounds like a great plan, but what is the result of this? Using their personal tools puts their business at risk, since there is no control over the data and no way of knowing how the data is being used and by whom. And this could be a major GDPR breach. So many SMBs will say that this type of quick fix collaboration is working just fine within the company, but often that's a red flag, because this means that they have adapted so-called shadow IT. Not having the right collaboration tools also wastes time. Time spent on searching for file or waiting for an updated version of the latest sales report because the sales manager is out of office, when with the right tools they could self-serve and access the latest information themselves. Or employees not having the possibility to work during their daily commuting or during business travel due to the fact that they don't have the necessary digital tools that could enable them to get their work done by, for example, using their phone. What does this look like for you as a partner? Well, you are the ones that have to deal with this in the end. We are hearing from IT resellers and managed service partners about the increasingly complex dynamics that makes it harder and more time-consuming than it should be to manage customers. Multiple or mixing multiple vendor solutions makes it difficult to see the full picture of the customer's environment and takes more time to manage. This means that even if you can establish yourself as your customer's central management vendor, you aren't necessarily able to make more profit from that account because the infrastructure takes so much time to implement and manage. So until you establish yourself as a trusted advisor and are able to convincing your customers to use the right teamwork tools, it will be harder for you in the long run to retain customers and grow your own company. You don't have to accept reduced margins, but can instead choose to become a trusted advisor and by that secure ongoing revenue streams. You will now learn how using Microsoft 365 can help you to build sustainable growth. So this is where Microsoft 365 comes in. This is the cure. It's important to note that when we say Microsoft 365, we think of it as a family offer, including Microsoft 365 Business, as well as Office 365 SKUs like Business Essentials and Business Premium. These different solutions help you to have a suitable offer for every customer. Microsoft 365 is an integrated solution that includes collaboration and security features to help SMB customers increase productivity while at the same time protecting them from threats and managing compliance. Microsoft 365 helps in getting more done since they can get access to Office apps with built-in AI tools for online file sharing and storage. Microsoft 365 helps them work better together, being able to smoothly collaborate, share, and communicate by using flexible tools. And by flexible, we mean flexible. These tools go wherever their team goes, so no time is lost when working remote or during travels. Building a business can be a stressful process, but with Microsoft 365, setup and managing users, devices, and data, it's done easily thanks to Microsoft's highly secure cloud-based productivity platform. So please, Oscar, say all this in one sentence. Okay? Microsoft 365 helps customers focus on what they do best, their core business. We are now going to focus on Microsoft 365 Business, which you can see here on the top of the slide in white, and how it can be used to securely run and grow your business. In the upcoming security webinar, we will deep dive into the security and the management part, the lower part, blue part of the slide. Microsoft 365 Business is the SMB version of Microsoft 365, which means that it's mainly built to meet the needs of SMB customers below 300 seats. It includes the full version of Intune, as well as a management console that is unique and specific to the Microsoft 365 Business that you will find in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. If you want to dig deeper into the management part, I encourage you to check out the Microsoft 365 technical series here on Cloud Champion. A couple of slides ago, we talked about how managing multiple vendors as a partner can be challenging. From a customer perspective, it can also have its disadvantages, and this slide illustrates how that might look. Customers that have bought separate products for every need can find themselves in a situation where each feature costs more than it should. By moving them into Microsoft 365 or Office 365, you can, in most cases, reduce their total cost. The most convincing point for getting customers to take that move is by telling them that when they use Microsoft 365, they will be able to enjoy features like all components talking and sharing intelligence with each other, something that is impossible when using multiple vendor solutions. So in most cases and scenarios, the Microsoft 365 solution will turn out to be more affordable and effective for your customers when bought as a comprehensive and integrated solution. More for less. What's not to love about that? When we talk about Microsoft 365, we imagine a journey. What do we mean by that? Well, a smaller SMB with 25 employees may start out by transitioning to Exchange Online, paired with a migration service from their IT partner and support in order for them to be able to call someone if they have any problems. So most SMBs prefer having an IT partner manage their solutions instead of managing it themselves because they don't often have a full-time IT employee. As a SMB company grows, and they do, and hires more employees, their needs become more complex. They might have sales personnel that travel a lot, or employees that could work remote, or need to work more flexible hours so they can pick up their kids, for example. Then the SMB may transition into Office 365 Business Premium. This transition can be paired with services such as migrating files to OneDrive for Business to get them set up and being able to use Microsoft Teams. And this is something I would like to highlight. Microsoft Teams is a great collaboration tool, but it requires a culture shift. And here the customers desperately need your help. And this is where your ongoing education comes in, as their trusted advisor. Finally, the SMB shifts to Microsoft 365 Business. At this point, their business has grown with perhaps an expanding e-commerce, and their security and compliance needs have increased. This also gives you as a partner an opportunity to manage the customer via the Microsoft 365 Business Console and add in other types of services whenever needed. It's important to recognize that this journey begins with teamwork and having modern collaboration tools. So let's take a closer look at that. You still with me? That's good. Now, let's unpack what we mean by get more done. With Microsoft 365 Business and Office 365 Business Premium, customers get enterprise-grade email, file storage for documents, a hub for teamwork, and all these Office apps working together so they can increase their productivity and grow their business with confidence. They also get the latest Office apps that they are already familiar with, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, and more. They come with new features, for example, intelligent recommendation tools. Take Designer in PowerPoint. It automatically recommends slide designs based on their content without having them to build the slide. It helps them to create like a pro while saving them time and effort. And it works great. If you haven't yourself tried it yet, be sure to do so later today. Customers can get work done on the go with enterprise-grade email and calendar features in Outlook. They get a 50 gigabyte mailbox so they don't have to worry about running out of space in their mailbox. If they need to get work done but are traveling or out of the office, they can stay on top of their work by having access and the ability to share files anywhere at any time with online file storage in OneDrive for Business, and they get 1 terabyte of file storage. So to summarize, with all these Office apps and features working together, email, conferencing, online storage, and a hub for teamwork, customers can increase their productivity and work more efficiently. And this, my friends, helps you and your customers save time and effort. This is one of my favorite slides. Teams work better together using Teams. Being able to work better together will increase results. Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork that brings together all their team's chat, meetings, files, and apps, making it easier for them to collaborate and keep track of group projects involving their coworkers, customers, and suppliers. By using Microsoft Teams, they are providing their businesses with a central repository that they can collaborate around, and that simplifies and enhances teamwork. They always know where to find the information they need when they need it, even in the middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping. What are some of the advantages and selling points for Microsoft Teams that you can use when you are talking to your customers? They can host online meetings directly in Teams in order to get work done in real time. In addition, anyone inside or outside their company can join their online meeting. They can record meetings so that people who should have joined but can't are able to listen to the recordings. They can brainstorm, and using the whiteboard, draw ideas, and solve challenges together, but without everyone being in the same room. Have they ever edited a file just to find out that they weren't working on the latest version? With co-authoring capabilities, they can share and edit their files in real time with their team. They can do this from anywhere in the world and with any device, ensuring that they always have the latest version of a file. Awesome feature. In Microsoft 365 Business and Office 365 Business Premium, you will find specific apps that help SMBs build their businesses. Many customers aren't aware of having these functionalities in their Office 365 Business Premium, and that using them would result in lots of value. What are some of these apps? Outlook Customer Manager is a CRM tool. Yes, it's in there. With this app, they can track customers' interactions and grow relationships. They can view customer details and history, and also track deals in progress right within Outlook. Bookings is another app that helps them to simplify the process of scheduling and managing customer appointments. It's a convenient web-based scheduling app that allows their customers to self-schedule appointments with them. Imagine that instead of them having customers calling and making appointments, these customers can see when they are available and book the appointment themselves right on the website. Easy for their customers, time saving for them. And if that isn't enough, the Planner app makes it easy for their team to create new project plans, organize tasks, and get updates on progress, all just a few clicks away. So what would a day at the customer look like if they used all these tools fully and with ease? Try to compare this scenario with how you yourself use these Microsoft products. Meet Melissa. Melissa Career. You got it? All right. Melissa is a small business owner with 20 employees, whereof some work remote. She uses Microsoft Teams at her consulting business, MC Consulting, to help manage client relationships and new business efforts. At 7:45 in the morning, Melissa starts her day at home by checking her activity feed in Teams for new notifications. At 8:30, she takes a taxi because she's a little late to work today and uses Microsoft Teams smartphone app while commuting so that she can join the daily status meeting. It's not the same as being there in person, but close enough because she can participate and get updates. At 9:30, once in the office, she accesses the latest version of their new business proposal for BN Finance in the Files tab in Teams. Melissa spends the next hour working with team members who either work remote or are sitting in another office. They co-edit their PowerPoint proposal online, together, as if they all were in the same room. 10:30. She checks the Planner tab to make sure that assigned tasks and due dates are completed for a key milestone for the upcoming new business presentation. 11:45. Melissa schedules a meeting to discuss Smith Interior Design's project and creates a new channel within Teams. She posts a link to the proposed plan and invites key team members to provide feedback. 1200. Within the Teams channel, she checks the status of the BN Finance plan via Trello, which is integrated into Teams. At 1 o'clock, while grabbing a late lunch, Melissa mentions David and asks him to add slides to the new business proposal. At 1:45, Melissa hops on a video call and shares her screen with the client to discuss their plan for an upcoming new project. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she reviews her activity feed and sees she's been mentioned requesting approval on the most recent version of BN Finance proposal. At 4:30, Melissa leaves the office to pick up her son from basketball practice. While waiting, she uses the Microsoft Teams smartphone app to send David a chat to discuss the next steps necessary in order to finalize the new business proposal. At 5 o'clock, on her way home, she jumps on a quick call with David via Teams to walk through the proposal details. At 8 o'clock in the evening, after dinner, Melissa finalizes the proposal by searching Teams to locate all conversations and files related to the project and synthesizes the feedback. Do you think this scenario is realistic? Well, to be honest, Melissa isn't usually this busy and stressed. She takes good care of her son Noah and loves spending time with her family. But I think that our takeout from this short story is that we all work very differently now compared to how we used to just a few years ago. You might be thinking that this all sounds good, Oscar, but how are customers that have implemented this feeling? Good question. Let's see what some customers are saying. First, Diving Locker, a diving company with 50 employees. Terry, the owner, says, "We use Microsoft Teams to streamline communication with crews and captains on individual boats, sending them information about their dives all at once, as opposed to texting multiple people." As this example shows, Microsoft Teams enables new ways of working, makes collaboration easier and smoother, simplifies the process of including and involving everyone necessary, and making sure they're all fully updated and informed, and creates a much more effective and inclusive decision-making environment. iSalon is a software development company that creates solutions for the beauty industry. They have 17 employees and a dog called Ollie. He's the office entertainer, like my cat is for me. Well, Ryan, the manager, says, "We found Microsoft Teams to be a game changer for us. As soon as you open it, you're ready to find, share, and add information. You can even start a voice or video call right from a discussion in Teams." So Teams helps accelerate decision making because information is shared in real time and in context, enabling people to quickly make an informed decision. Carpool Agency is a consulting agency. Jerome, the CEO, says, "Teams is awesome. Teams is work. Teams is our foundation. Teams is our office. It's the reason we're able to do what we do." In addition to all the above, Microsoft Teams is a driver of digital transformation. How can we say that? By helping customers to modernize their business processes and align them with how people in a modern workplace work best. So what does the Microsoft 365 journey for SMB look like? To explain, we can quickly highlight some of the differences between the Microsoft 365 SKUs. For example, Exchange Online. You get email hosting with 5 GB mailbox and a custom email domain and addresses, and also it's compatible with versions of Outlook. So let's take a look at Office 365 Business Essentials. Here you get introduced to Microsoft Teams, and you get web versions of Office applications and 1 TB of OneDrive for business storage. Let's move on to take a look at the Office 365 Business Premium. Here you get the desktop versions of Office, actually 5 licenses in one. Office apps on 5 phones, 5 tablets, and 5 PCs or Macs per user. So one question is, how can end of support drive customer urgency and help you sell Microsoft 365 to your customers? Every product has a life cycle. The life cycle begins when a product is released and ends when it's no longer supported. End of support is coming up for Windows 7 and Office 2010, and we want you to be valuable helpers by talking to your customers and addressing these issues. Why is this relevant? Well, because more than 50% of our SMB customers are still using Windows 7 or Office 2010. You are therefore in a unique position to address the above defined life cycles, sell Microsoft 365, and by doing that, help your customers shift to the cloud. Knowing key dates in this life cycle helps you to inform your customers so they can make informed decisions about when to update, upgrade, or make other changes to their software. We will have 3 defining moments in the near future, and these are Windows 7, end of support will be in January 2020. Office 2010, end of support will be in October 2020. Office 2016 and earlier, and Office 365 connectivity services are being discontinued with non-cloud clients in October 2020. And one more thing. Skype for Business Online will be retired on July the 31st of 2021, at which point access to this service will be discontinued. It's good to know that current Skype for Business Online customers can expect no change in the service up to its retirement date. Though this announcement comes a full 24 months before the retirement, we should already now encourage our customers to plan and fully complete their upgrades to Microsoft Teams today. You have a huge opportunity within the SMB market. Your customers need to understand these upcoming changes and what impacts this will have on their business. End of support should be at the top of your list when talking to customers who are still on legacy solutions and helping them by providing options for moving to the cloud. This is an amazing opportunity within your own existing customer base and in the SMB market in general. Because look at these numbers. In our research, only 31% of SMBs are aware of end of support. And this is in fact an alarming number. You need to address these customers and lead them by showing them all the advantages of modern collaboration. You should talk about all the benefits of teamwork and security and help them envision and understand how it can help them to accelerate their business. We have talked about the benefits of teamwork and collaboration, but how do you really show customers the value of these solutions so they truly understand what's in it for them? When you are talking to customers, it can be challenging to convey the value and make them understand the potential. You have a few options here. In many cases, seeing is believing, and this also applies when selling technology solutions to SMB. To convey the value to customers, you need to first make sure that the scenarios you're discussing are relatable and applicable for the customer you're talking to. To get some ideas on how to do this, you can use and tweak the day in the life of Melissa slide that we covered earlier in this webinar so that it's relatable to a specific customer. In the last go-to-market webinar in this series, we will go through more material you can use to help your customers. To show the solutions, you can do a demo. If you are a Microsoft partner, Microsoft will give you the opportunity to leverage demo tenants for this purpose. We have found that the most efficient way to accelerate Microsoft 365 deals is to bring the customer to a so-called Discover workshop. The objectives of this workshop is to allow customers to experience solutions firsthand. A Discover workshop usually lasts around 3 hours and can be held on a one-to-one basis with customers or more preferably in SMB, one-to-many customers. There are scenarios specifically designed for SMB and Microsoft 365 Business, Office 365 and Microsoft 365 Enterprise that you can leverage. We have seen that these workshops increase median deal size by 5 times, increasing closing rates by 15% and close deals 14 days faster. So yes, they are effective. Some of you are already doing these workshops and some of you are not. If you are a partner that wants to get started, you can contact your local Microsoft office to get support with training and learning how to deliver these sessions. It's really a great experience to be together with a potential customer testing and experiencing hands-on exploration at the customer's own pace. So before we end this webinar, let's identify some go-dos. Well, download the Teamwork and Why Cloud Development guides here on Cloud Champion, including Learn, Market, Pitch and Close Teamwork content. That will be covered more in the Go-to-Market webinar later. Learn more and get started with Discover workshops by contacting your local Microsoft office and get support, training and material. You will discover how hands-on practicing teamwork really helps you be more enthusiastic about selling Microsoft 365 Business. Well, also learn to demo and find more resources on transform.microsoft.com and discover tools designed to enhance customer conversations. This ends the first webinar introducing Microsoft 365 Business and the teamwork opportunities and benefits both for you as a partner and for your customers. We hope you liked it and will join us for the next one. Talking about the next one, what's up in our next webinar? It's all about security. We will introduce security assessments and show you how these can be used as a tool to analyze the needs of your customers and identify the correct level of security when selling Microsoft 365. So please tune in for the next webinar. So friends, let's get to work.